Hey guys, welcome back to Triple Play Sports Picks. My name is Adrian. Go ahead and do me a favor. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. Well, here at Triple Play, we had a rough Tuesday and we decided to try to bounce back on a Wednesday. And guess what, guys? It happened. It happened by almost having another clean sweep in 2 out of the last 3 days. So let's get this recap going from Wednesday's picks. First pick we had the Reds versus the Pirates going over the total of 9. That one was considered a push with the Reds scoring 4 and the Pirates scoring 5. So push basically means is that if the total is at 9 and if it sits at 9, then the bet gets canceled out and nobody wins the bet. Okay? So that was that. The second pick we had was the Oakland Athletics versus the Kansas City Royals going over the total of 8.5. And let me tell you, that pick cashed in the 4th inning as both teams already had scored 9 runs in the 4th inning. And guess what the total was at the end of the night? 12 Oakland A's, Kansas City, 10. 22 runs in that game. So that went way over the 8.5 runs. Next pick we had was the Houston Astros versus the Texas Rangers over the total of 9 runs. And that one, let me give like a few tips about that one, because I did see it in the morning at 9 runs. And later on throughout the day, I did catch it at 8.5 runs. So if you caught it at 8.5 runs, you cashed that bet. But if you caught it at 9 runs, then that means it's a push. So those were my 3 picks for the day. And I did have a bonus play, and that was considered the underdogs of the day for me. And it was a St. Louis Cardinals money line. And let me tell you how that went. First inning, Cardinals, 5 runs. The end of the night, St. Louis Cardinals, 11 runs to New York Mets, 4 runs. And that one was at plus 155 money line. So I had to bounce back somehow. And I felt like that one was a really, really good take because, like I said, the pitcher for the Cardinals has been doing good. And also because the Cardinals have been hot and now they're on the wild card picture. So let me also give you another, I kind of hinted this pick, towards the end of my last video. And basically what I said was, since the Dodgers have been winning, they've been covering the -1.5. Out of 5 games, they covered 4 of -1.5. Well, yesterday they did win. So that's 6 straight victories for the Dodgers. And guess what? They covered the -1.5 again. So I had pretty much 5 plays. One of them had 1 push, and the other one could have been a push or it could have been a bet that cashed. So I had to come back somehow to help you guys out. So anyways, let's get to today's picks. Today's picks for September 16th, on this Thursday, I have 3 picks, 2 of them being baseball and the other one being the Thursday night football game. So the first one I'm looking at is the New York Yankees versus the Baltimore Orioles. On the mound for the Yankees is Jordan Montgomery, 5-6, 3.71 ERA. On the mound for the Baltimore Orioles, Chris Ellis, 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA. So on this one, I do see a heavy favorite. Like I had mentioned before, you don't want to lay too much money on the heavy favorite because that's too much risk that you're putting at. And also because what if that favorite doesn't hit? So anyways, basically what I'm going to do here in this bet, I'm going to look at the a couple things, a couple bets I'm actually doing on this bet. So both pitchers are actually good pitchers. The total on this one is 10. And my first bet I feel like it's going to hit is the under 10 runs. Because I'm telling you, like, that's just too many runs for two good pitchers. So that's my first bet that I'm picking. And I'm looking at another bet in this game is at the Baltimore run line plus 1.5, and it's sitting at plus 135. So even with the plus 1.5 runs for the Baltimore run line, it's still at plus money, plus 135. Here's another prop bet that I feel like is a good one too. So that was plus 1.5. The other option that I'm looking at is the Baltimore Orioles plus 2.5 runs, sitting at minus 125 for the Baltimore Orioles. So I think with that one is a pretty good one too, because you're almost laying down, you're almost up ahead, 3 runs at that point. So for those of you that are still new in the sports betting, basically what that means is that before the game starts, let's say I'm picking the plus 2.5. That means the Baltimore Orioles already up 2.5 runs. Okay, and hopefully that makes sense. So that one's still a good minus 125 bet, So I just think that one's a good one too. And for the money line on that one, for the Baltimore Orioles, it's sitting at plus 205. So if you want to take a shot at the Baltimore Orioles at plus 205 against the Yankees, why not? I mean, the last time that the Yankees and the Orioles faced each other with the same two pitchers, one for the Yankees, one for the Orioles, the Yankee pitcher did give up a run for the Baltimore Orioles, and the Orioles pitcher didn't give up any runs against the New York Yankees. So those are 3 bets in just one game. So that's my first pick. The second pick I'm looking at is, let's see. The second pick I'm looking at is Houston Astros versus the Texas Rangers. And on the mound for the Astros is Framber Valdez, 10-5, 3.26 ERA. On the mound for the Rangers, Glenn Otto, 0-1 with a 6.92 ERA. So with this one, I just feel like I said, the money line for the Houston Astros is at minus 200. That's way too much money to lay down for that bet. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to lay down the minus 1.5 runs for the Astros. And because Framber Valdez has been a great pitcher for the Astros, and he's been lights out against the against the Rangers. So the first time he faced the Rangers this year, he was 7 innings pitch, 3 hits, 2 runs. And then when he was pitching at home, 6 innings, 0 runs. So that's why I'm choosing the minus 1.5 on the Astros. And the third and final pick for today is the New York Giants versus the Washington football team. So let's see. It wasn't really good for either team on their first week of football for the Giants or the Washington. And with this pick, I do feel like both teams are going to make adjustments, especially the Washington football team, because their defense wasn't there. Like, their defense was just off, you know. Chase Young, I feel like he had a horrible game. Defensively, the Washington, I felt like just were off on defense. And they have a really, really strong defense. And the Giants, I feel like they don't really have anything. Like, their running back is pretty much questionable. And also the tight end for the Giants, Evan Ingram, is out. So that's why I feel, and the Washington football team is playing at home. So overall, I think this one, I feel like both teams are going to make adjustments. But I do feel like the Washington football team has an edge defensively. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and do the Washington spread of the -3.5 points. So let's recap for today's picks for Thursday, September the 16th. And I'm doing the Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles. The first pick I chose was the under 10 runs. And the second pick and third pick, I'm choosing the +1.5 for the Orioles, +2.5 for the Orioles, or if you want to take a good shot at it, the money line for the Baltimore Orioles sitting at +200. All right, so the next one I'm looking at, the next one that I'm trying to pick is -1.5 Astros. And the third pick is the Washington football team spread at -3.5 points. All right, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a blessed day. And I hope we have another winning day. So don't forget, guys. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like that button. Thanks, guys.